Hey everyone, this is Austin Carty. I'm the pastor of Boulevard Baptist Church in Anderson, South Carolina, and I come to you today with what I hope is a word of encouragement. And it could be that today I need this word of encouragement more than most. Um, I am coming to you right now from my kids' playroom at my house, unlike where I've been the last several days as I've recorded these daily words of encouragement, which that has been at my office. And I do so because as of last night, I have been, along with the rest of my family, placed under a 14-day quarantine. Yesterday afternoon, my 10-month-old son, Witt, came down with a fever, which ultimately reached 103.6. He also developed a cough. We took him to our pediatrician, who thinks it most likely that he has the flu. But as of yesterday, inconveniently, doctors were instructed to no longer test for the flu. So our pediatrician could not tell us conclusively whether it was or was not the flu. And because of the symptoms that he is presenting with, out of an abundance of caution, we have been instructed to stay here at the house for the next 14 days. My largest concern, of course, is my son. It's very hard to watch a 10-month-old be kind of that sick and pitiful. And he's being treated with medicine right now, and we hope that he'll be getting better in the next few days. And I'm meanwhile deeply unsettled by being no longer able to leave my house and able to minister in the ways that I had been trying to minister during this time of worldwide crisis and upheaval. So I, like I say, need words of encouragement as much as anyone does. And what I've been really relying on in the last 12 hours since I've been trying to adjust to this new reality, whereas I was already trying to adjust to the other new reality. I've been thinking about words that we have been sharing with one another at Boulevard Baptist Church really since kind of the scare and the disorientation of this coronavirus began. And that is reflecting on the words that Jesus spoke to his disciples just before he was betrayed, right after having told them that he would be undergoing crucifixion and betrayal. So a time of fear and discomfort and disorientation and uncertainty. But then spoke the same words again to his disciples when first he revisited them upon his resurrection. And those words are simply this: my peace to you. In a time of upheaval and uncertainty, in a time of euphoria and jubilation. In both instances, Jesus' words to his disciples were, my peace to you. Those are lovely words, no doubt, but we, if we're not careful, can trivialize what that really means. We have a way of flattening the word peace to meaning a fleeting emotion of calm, a fleeting emotion of being carefree. And it's not that peace is not about being in some sense carefree, and it's certainly not that peace is not about being calm, but what Jesus is talking about here is not trying to supply the disciples with a sense of being carefree, as if there's nothing in the world to worry about, as if there are not expectations that they're supposed to live up to. It's not as if there are not burdens that they are supposed to carry. That is really what it means to be a disciple, is to carry the burden of being Christ to the world. So my peace to you is not about being carefree in a time of upheaval, but is instead about having the capacity to be centered. It's about a state of poise. It's about a capacity within us. And it's one that we can't will for ourselves, that we can't manufacture for ourselves. It's one that is in a strange way given, but one that when given gives us a way to look at the difficulties and the complexities and the challenges of our world and of our time, and engage those head on in constructive and life-giving ways versus being completely overwhelmed by or so terrified by that we look away from. So that's where I really am right now. We've been saying those words to one another, my peace to you. But right now, as I think about all the things I'm now not going to be able to do as a minister, and try to begin thinking of what things I can do, and moreover, as I am burdened by discomfort for my son, and if I'm being honest, even fear for my son, those words take on greater meaning. I'm not going to cease being worried about those things. I'm not going to cease feeling the need to be able to do something constructive about those things. But I am going to, through the Spirit of Christ, be centered in my approach to those things. There is a passage in Herman Melville's book, Moby Dick, that the pastor Eugene Peterson pointed out is very fitting for a time like now. He points out that there's a moment where the great battle is apace. Moby Dick, the great white whale, against Captain Ahab and all the sailors. And the oarsmen are running to their oars, and great battle is taking place. But he says there's one person in that scene who is sitting calm, and whose job it is to be calm, and that is the harpooner. And there's a line where Melville says something to the effect of, out of idleness and preparedness stands the harpooner, who must come from this disposition so as to ensure the efficiency of the dart. That's not exactly it, but it's close to that. I think right now we all need to try our best through the Spirit of Christ to be harpooners. There are a lot of oarsmen running to and fro. There's a great battle of order versus chaos happening right now. It's not always exciting to be the harpooner, but it is life-altering and world-changing to be harpooners. And if I have any word of encouragement today, then it is simply this. May the peace of Christ be with you. And as the peace of Christ settles upon you, may you look at the challenges and the complexities ahead of us and be that harpooner, not acting out of anxiousness and panic and fear, but out of calm control, ensuring the efficiency of the dart. May it be so for you and for me. Amen.